everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host and Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes.
Is that the first time you did the Colonel bit?
I've done it since the Colonel incident.
Oh, okay. I wonder why I haven't caught that before. I think I just...
Well, the week after you caught it, because remember I said, oh, did you notice? Like, yeah, I noticed. I wasn't going to say anything. And then...
Okay. I think maybe I was on autopilot the week after that. I thought that was like a one-off to reference the Metal Gear bit. But okay, if you're going with it, you're going with it.
Going with it.
I'm doing good.
Good to have you. Also joining us here in the virtual studio is the heavyweight podcasting champion of the world, JJ Purdom.
What's up, boys? It's good to see you guys this week on the show. I want to let everybody out there in podcast land know that just a few minutes before we started the show today, Garrett's hot mom walked into the screen and we got to check her out. Like, dude, it's awesome because it makes me feel like I could be your father because we're of similar age. And it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense, Garrett. That's no
the
way.
Man's mom. Come on.
Yeah,
you can't be talking about how incredibly attractive she is.
Well, you noticed it too, Adrian. That's the whole thing.
I just said incredibly, didn't I?
Right. Incredible is the right word because it doesn't make sense. Your dad is a lucky man, but I don't understand because you look the way you look. You don't look anything like them. I mean, if you're adopted,
genetics are unpredictable, man.
Yeah, I get it. They are kind of unpredictable.
Yeah, just look at JJ.
Yeah, right?
Oh, you guys suck. You called my mom hot. Oh, yeah, okay.
So, actually, I did have a friend.
Me ugly. No.
we kind of double did it. It was like double dipping the chip. I did have a kid that used to work with me at the lumber yard that I used to work at, and one time his mom came in, and she was attractive. She was okay. She wasn't like Garrett's mom hot, but she was like okay. And so she walks in.
I see where you're at.
You see where I'm at. Okay. So, hi, Jenny. And then she walks in. She walks in, and she's like, hi, is Brandon here? And we're like, yeah. May I ask who is looking for him? And she's like, I'm his mom. And I'm like, okay, great. And I say, hold on, he'll be here in a second. And he comes over and he talks to her. And I go tell the other guys, like, hey, that's his mom. Like, we got to mess with him. And so the moment that his mom left, I went over to him and very loudly exclaimed in front of everybody else there, like, dude, that was your mom? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, what the heck, man? Dude, I'd still be breastfeeding, man. Like, wow.
Oh,
no. No, I was horrible. I was even more heathen-like than I am now. You know what I mean? I've Christianed it up a lot, guys. You have no idea. You don't want to know the old me.
No, he's not through with you yet. How about that?
No. And so then my other friends were just blasting this poor guy. They were like, seriously, dude, like I'd never leave the house if I had a mom like that. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. Garrett, you know the struggle, so.
How have you been, JJ? How you doing?
Oh, dude, are you kidding? I'm so much better now. Yeah, I'm doing so much better.
All right. I do want to apologize. I called you out at the very end of last week's episode about the match, the wrestling match that you suggested. I said, I think you got it confused, and afterwards you set me straight. You were not confused. I was confused. So I do want to apologize on air. Like you were not wrong.
I appreciate that.
You do know what you're talking about when it comes to wrestling, surprisingly.
Well, I honestly appreciate so much because right after the show when we were like, okay, bye everybody, so long. As soon as we clicked, I said, look here, man, you ever question my wrestling knowledge again? I'll do it through the screen, bro. You know what I mean? So a couple little threats about breaking legs, and then all of a sudden, here you are with your apology, and I accept. Thank you, sir.
No, it'll never happen again. Trust me.
That would be like me asking, telling you, oh, dude, you don't know nothing about Warhammer figurines, or let me tell you about D&D, bud.
And that's when Garrett be like, all right, look here, son. I got to sit you down. Me and my 3D printer, we got to sit you down.
Oh, exactly. See, I didn't have any other thoughts about it, Garrett, but thank you for that.
All right. Yeah, no worries. Real quick, in the chat, we have Kajoma01 coming in saying, trying to do an experiment to see if Super Gamer Boys is a good workout tunes. So I don't know.
Okay.
We'll see.
Let me help you out, Kajoma. Here we go. And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4.
You should have seen Garrett sweat when his mom walked into frame earlier when we started like ogling her on the show.
I think we were sweating too.
Oh, well, I was because I'm obese, but I don't, you know what I mean? I'm just saying.
No, what I was gonna say, should we give Kid Junior a little song to
Did you notice he turned 2 shades of red? Like,
yeah.
Garrett, the mom thing is not gonna die, dude. This is gonna be a recurring thing the rest of the night. I can't think straight.
Oh man,
I love it.
I'm having the greatest night ever.
I hate you guys so much.
You better get it rolling.
It's the worst thing too is my mom comes in here is like, hey, you guys keep picking on Garrett, like do it more. Like I give you full permission. I'm like, why? Why would you do that? Okay.
We have a license to do this now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know what to. I have nothing. I have nothing for you guys now. That's it. That's the end of the show. Take it away, JJ. Let's end this thing.
We've got lots of video game news, but first we need to thank the people who help us do our podcast. If you support us on Patreon,
including our sponsors, Garrett, who's one of our sponsors?
Well, we have our Patreon producers, Junior, Bleep Bloop, and Eddie Martin, and our super gamer sponsors, Julie Bates and Mama Mare. But first,
not too shabby.
We want to kind of give you a little fill you in on what we're going to be talking about here. Today, we're talking about, oh shoot, I didn't fill out the show notes. Today, we're talking about EA making some moves, trying to sell themselves. Last of Us, JJ, stop.
Gary, you're totally flustered, dude. I'm sorry.
I was working. Okay, so normally when you guys are chit-chatting before the show, before we go live, and I'm over here typing away, like doing the real work while you guys are screwing around doing whatever.
Oh, yeah.
and then my mom comes in.
And then the lights dim. And then a spotlight hits the floor.
And it was like the sun shone for the first time in my life, as your mom walked into frame. But go ahead. What were you saying?
And then all of a sudden I was like, hey, we've been live for 20 minutes. We need to start the show. And then we started the show, and here I am not ready. So we're talking about EA pursuing a sale. Last of Us PS5 remake rumors swirling around. And Death Stranding 2 possibly being leaked by its main character. We'll talk more about that later. We already talked about who supports us. Thank you, Kid Jr., Bleep Bloop, Eddie Martin, Julie Bates, Mama Mare. You're all awesome. If you want to be awesome just like those folks, go over to patreon.com/supergamerboys, where you can support us starting at just $1 a month. We are getting so close to our goal. We just got a new supporter over the weekend. And if you want to be joining the crew to get us closer to doing that sick new show, working title of Super Later Boys, get over there. Get on in there where you can be on the ground level of the killer new show. Or you can just get episodes early and ad-free, like this podcast and our other fantastic show, Super Gamer Book Club, hosted by Adrian. There's a new episode coming out this Friday.
This Friday.
Super Mario World. We're going on that. It's going to be fantastic. We're going to have some guests on there. We announced those guests last week, right?
Yep. The Nintendo Cartridge Society duo are coming to school us on all things Mario World.
Yeah. And
it's going to be a doozy.
Patrick, didn't he say in the Twitter DMs that he played like all 96 levels or whatever?
Fully completed the save.
Because you can beat the game in like 70 something, but he 100%ed Super Mario World. He found all the secret worlds and everything.
All the
Star
secrets.
Worlds, so he's gonna be dropping some wisdom on us. And so if you want to get in on that early, and you don't have to wait 2-3 months, get over here, patreon.com/supergamerboys. Get that this Friday. I'm super stoked. It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll talk more about our Patreon later on the show. Let's give a quick shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. We appreciate you, and you should all go and check it out. You can find it over on Spotify and Apple Music. Links to Spotify are in the show description below. All right. It is now time for the mailbag.
Hold on, wait. Oh, shoot. I forgot to do something. Just give me it. Hold on. I have to see if something uploaded. Just wait. Oh, I gotta run an errand real quick. I'll be right back. Just give me.
All right.
Hold on.
No worries.
Ugh. Every time. Okay. So let me. Oh, hey, Nurse Joy, how you doing? Okay. So let me put this here. Why do I have so many? Get rid of those. Okay.
Is he aware that his thing is still on? I don't know if he's aware he's talking to himself.
Shoot. Oh, there it is. Okay. Put this here. Upload.
I hope
save.
He's sending the questions over because I don't have them yet.
Okay. Good. All right. Hold on. I'm coming back. Okay.
All right.
Good.
We're back.
I just sent you the mailbag stuff. You should be getting it now.
Oh yeah, I hear it. I hear it now. Let's see. All right. You sent a Pokemon?
Uh-huh.
I need the questions.
Open the ball. You can store more than Pokemon in the PC. Open the ball.
Put things other than Pokemon. Okay, all right.
I can do that. I know Bill.
Just you.
Don't worry about it.
Bill. You know Bill. You're friends with Bill. Oh, yes. Okay. Whoa. Okay, there we go. Oh,
see?
There. Okay. Thank you very much. Well,
no problem.
That's a first. I didn't realize that you could store Word documents in a Pokeball, but there you go. You're welcome. First.
Let's do this.
All right, here we go. We have the questions here. Thank you so much, Adrian, for just running over to Pokemon Center real quick to drop that off for me.
No problem.
This first question comes from CJM, which they jumped on Discord to clarify. They are not Junior's mom, so very clear.
Okay, and again, I'm all about that mom love. That's why I assumed that it was Junior's mom. That's why I said that. And
here at Super Gamer Boys, we love moms.
We do.
Moms.
Wait,
no. What? So their question is, what is one obscure game from PlayStation's back catalog that you would like to see added to the new PlayStation Game Pass competitor? For me, it would be The Punisher from the PS2 era.
Mine would be the other half of the Parappa series, Jammer Lammy. I need that. It's way more difficult and way faster than Parappa because it's rock and roll, and the songs are awesome.
And I would pick Clock Tower, which was a point-and-click game. It was a horror game in the mid-'90s that I felt was a lot of fun. And I'd like to be able to play that again.
Okay. It was on PS1?
It was on PS1, and PS2 had, like, Clock Tower 2 and 3.
Okay, like a sequel, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it would be Jet Moto 2.
Ooh.
That was a game that I only ever owned through the demo disc, the Pizza Hut demos, and I loved it.
A legendary disc.
I loved it. I would play it all the freaking time. So I never owned the full copy. So if that ever came to the PlayStation Pass, like I feel like I'd have to play it, like to finally play it in all its glory, you know, like not just the one track, like the 60-second demo you get, like get to basically, because it was a time demo. I think all the other ones, like you got a whole level. This one is like, okay, you have like a minute and a half. And
so much,
it just like cut off.
You better do your, you better do your best here.
Oh man, so Jet Moto 2, get at me. That'd be awesome. All right. That was the fastest thing, most efficient we've ever answered any question. What the heck was that? We all actually had an answer.
And we didn't talk about it beforehand. And the fact
because we're all fired up.
Yeah, we see what happens when your mom shows up. So every week we'd have a little touch base with your mom. And like it just adds energy.
And we get gold.
It adds energy to the podcast, for crying out loud.
Oh no. All right, this next question comes from Eddie Martin. They write, Mount Rushmore of video game weapons. Yeah,
oh, man.
This is a big one. Go
ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I didn't prepare for any of these questions either, so I'm kind of thinking on the fly with you guys here. I mean, a couple, I can think of 3 in my head so far. Kratos' axe, the Leviathan
over
axe.
the blades.
Let's see. was gonna go
as I've
Kratos'
mentioned,
axe, too.
as I've mentioned before, I have zero history.
Oh, that's right.
with
That's
the
right.
original
You didn't
games.
play the old
My
ones.
first
That's
one
right.
was the new 2018 one. So for me, the axe, that's Kratos' weapon. Even
fair point.
Yeah. Number 2 would be the Snake SOCOM. Fantastic. Like, I love that weapon so much. Like, not only is it fun to shoot in game, but even like in real life, I've looked into like buying one because it's like I know like the brand. I've researched it all. I know the brand, like the Heckler and Koch, SOCOM, USP with the tactical.
How much is it?
Like, that's a lot of money, and plus silencers are illegal in most states, so I couldn't get the silencer. But I was like,
we won't tell if you don't.
It's not in Nebraska, let me tell you. They require that you have one in Nebraska.
You could just have JJ ship it to you.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that makes it legal. Just have wink. So yeah, the Snakes. The iconic SOCOM that he has in every game. That Raiden has. All the Metal Gear games have the SOCOM. I always thought the freaking Assassin's Blades from Assassin's Creed was like one of the coolest weapons, like especially in stealth in a stealth game, like being able to just like casually walk through a crowd, blending in, and just like bump, 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 stab, bump, 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 and the person just falls over, and you're like, you just keep walking. No one even knows. Like, I don't know. It's so stinking cool. Like, that game was. Yeah, so amazing. I really need to go back and play some of those. I was thinking about that the other day. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed in so long, and I miss that. Like, I miss the old ones. I know were so good. Like 2 especially.
One and 2. And then for the new ones, really, it's just Origins and Odyssey.
Yeah,
Valhalla is a snooze fest. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah. But my 4th one, I'm still hung up on my 4th one. So if one of you guys want to start with yours, go ahead.
I mean, I it's in like 5 or 6 of my Mount Rushmores now, but of course Keyblade goes on there. That goes without saying. Come on now.
Of course.
Another one I would probably say for being iconic, I would say the Buster Sword. That's for sure. Cloud Sword from Final Fantasy VII. Then here's my thing. Is a Pokeball considered a weapon?
Oh, well. They are battling. It is a Pokemon battle.
And you do throw it at a Pokemon.
Yeah, and so whether you're capturing a Pokemon or if you're using it in a trainer battle, you use weapons in order to battle. So essentially,
right.
I would say the Pokeball / Pokemon are the weapons. Yeah.
So by that definition, a Pokeball, I think, works.
I would say that.
Right? Yeah. Okay. And then for my 4th, I have to say the Master Sword.
Yes.
As far as iconic weapons, those 4 are like everybody knows what those are.
Yeah, those are definitely like 100% most iconic, I think. Boy. The only other thing I can think of. Hang on, I think I have a 4th.
You got it?
Samus's arm gun thing, whatever. I don't know.
The cannon.
Yeah, it just slipped my mind, like the name of it, but yeah, like her arm cannon.
So it'd be like a bust, right? And then she'd have it like right here. Okay.
Definitely.
Right on. You're up.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. So I've got 4, and my 4 whip all of your guys' stuff except for Garrett's because one of his was on my list. So the axe from Kratos in God of War, from the 2018 God of War. I don't think that it gets any more iconic. So I see that would be on my Mount Rushmore. Another one that I am kind of surprised you guys don't think of is firepower from the original Super Mario game. Like, I love the firepower thing. And to me, that's an incredible weapon. You know, you're throwing fire from getting the flowers and stuff like that.
You're 100% right.
And then I'm a big fan of Red Dead Redemption 2. So I would say the Schofield revolver was my favorite gun. It did really good damage in the game. And,
when you get that dead eye with it.
I think it was like $84 for that thing. Yeah. And then 4th on my Mount Rushmore is Ninja Gaiden's sword, that he would do these little like somersaults with the sword and cutting enemies. And I loved his I love the gameplay from that thing. So I would say his sword to me is like iconic. Plus cutscenes, man. The first cutscenes of anything ever.
Featured that sword.
Dude.
Not bad at it.
I'm a little older, and so I like that. Like I'm trying to bring out that kind of stuff. Whereas I don't see you guys coming up with
old man knowledge. Yeah.
You know, you call me dad if you want. I mean, I'm saying.
No.
Because you want.
Kajoma in the chat comes with us with the Halo Energy Sword.
Yep, that's a good one.
The Koopa Shell.
That's a good. Well, I mean, it can be used as a weapon, but is it inherently a weapon?
It's yeah. I mean, it's a weapon. I mean, in a couple, not only the Mario games, but also in like a Mario Kart. Right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
The Galahorn. That's from Destiny, isn't it? Some gun from Destiny, I think.
I'm not a dork.
Yeah, same here. And then he originally said lightsaber, and then he said, "Ooh, maybe do master sword."
That's not a video game weapon per se.
So he did.
That's more of a movie weapon that's been in games.
Yeah. So he took it back and said, "Ooh, maybe do master sword over lightsaber." So he picked master sword as number 4. So
good choice.
Pretty good. Pretty good choices. Pretty good choices. They're all right. That's what this show's become. Is this we just judge your guys' choices? Like, oh no, that's fine. I give it a 4 out of 5. You know, 3.5.
Kajoma. Is that what we're calling him right now? Is it Kajoma?
Yeah, because I can't remember what we switched it to.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kajoma, you're doing a great job. Thank you for always sending in cool questions like that. And just for technicality's sake, we need you to send a photo of your mom. So if you could just send that to P.O. Box. What?
I mean, if that's what we're doing,
we got to make sure that CJM isn't really his mom. So you see what I'm doing.
You need CJM to send in a photo. Then
we need both of them to send a photo. We need
to verify.
Okay, CJM, send in a photo of Kajoma's mom.
No.
You're almost there.
We'll figure it out. We'll talk later, and then send the official emails.
We'll do it in the Discord.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
We need some mom photos, guys.
We need to start a new channel on our server.
No, we didn't ask for nudes.
I said nude.
What is wrong with you, Garrett?
I said nude.
Garrett, it's
Come
a
on,
PG
Garrett.
show. Cut the tape. Cut the tape. This is PG, dude.
right,
What are you doing?
Stop the show. Stop the recording. Turn it off.
Man.
No.
Garrett, what got you all hot and bothered, man? Relax.
Man. All right. This next question comes from Sir Printsalot. And he asked, what's the longest you think you could realistically sit and play one of your favorite games for if you had unlimited time?
Do you dare me?
Yeah, I think Adrian would probably kill both of us, dude, for like games. First of all, no kids.
No,
but not even that. But
that's part of the question. The question is, you have unlimited time, but how long realistically do you think you could actually sit there and play before
these
you
days?
I'm done?
These days, not too long.
Yeah.
In 2002, 2003, you sit me down with a nice GameCube, some Hot Pockets, you know, a fat. What was around in 2002 for? I guess maybe like a fat. Orange Fanta and a copy of Animal Crossing, and I'm going from midnight to midnight, baby.
Now, hang on. This is totally off topic, but you talking about Orange Fanta made me think of it. Did you guys remember the Mountain Dew Pitch Black?
Yeah.
No.
Dude, why won't they bring that back?
Look,
they need to bring that back. That was the
Mountain
best.
Dew has struck gold a handful of times.
And that was one of them. That was the best one.
No. Code Red.
No, Code Red is like one of the worst.
You're tripping. Code Red is delicious.
I hate Code
Live
Red.
Wire.
Live Wire was good.
Baja Blast.
That's all right too. Yeah.
All right, he says. Baja Blast is all right, he says.
Pitch Black and then Pitch Black 2 were perfect because the one was like a sweet grape and the other one was like a sour grape, and they were the best Mountain Dew has ever done.
A little known fact, regular green Mountain Dew, still the official drink of Nebraska.
The official drink of Nebraska?
That is the state drink, guys. Also of Missouri. Coincidentally enough, like both states have
it's required to be fed to all the newborns in the hospitals.
It's true. It's true.
Breastfeeding is outlawed until 6 months of age. Until then,
They have
They
to have
are
a good,
sustained
healthy
solely on Mountain Dew,
it's
original
the
flavor.
The drink of the gods is what they call it here. So
I'll give you the last one. I'll give you the last slot.
Kajoma's in the chat saying Code Red's great. Garrett out here acting crazy. Am I seriously the
Thank
only
you,
one who thinks
Kajoma.
Code Red is garbage?
Thank you, Kajoma.
See, but I don't like cherry flavored things. I'm not.
But-
other than cherry Pepsi is the only thing I've ever liked that's cherry.
And then he says Pepsi.
But
and
cherry,
then he says Pepsi.
Cherry Coke garbage. I don't like. I don't like Coca-Cola at all. I'm a Pepsi man through.
look, just before you make yourself more damaged in the public's opinion, just cut the dang tape, Garrett. Just stop filming right now. Why are you doing this to yourself?
You go to McDonald's and you're like, "Excuse me, sir, I can't.
Can I have a cherry Pepsi?
Do you have any Pepsi back there? I know McDonald's is so well known for their Pepsi."
And also, I know that I'm not getting one of those Happy Meals, but can I get some of the Warhammer figurines?
Look at this delicious, look at this delicious Pizza Hut pizza. I sure wish I had some Pepsi to go with it. Garrett, let's just keep going. Good grief. Pepsi.
I didn't realize.
What is this, a fifth grade pizza party? Pepsi.
I didn't realize that was such a divisive thing. Pepsi is way better. Are you kidding me?
Oh my God. I cannot believe. Go forward, please.
Okay.
In the chat, Pepsi or Coke? We want to know. Like, but let's put a poll up on our social media sites. Pepsi or Coke? We got to know. Because Garrett, I think you're going to be pleasantly embarrassed.
I don't know about this.
Cherry Pepsi, yeah, that's the one. Woo!
All right. We didn't answer this question. Adrian's the only one who
I
answered
don't even
it.
remember what it is.
Does it even matter at this point? We've proven that Garrett's a moron. like that's what really this is about.
I think I'm right there with you, Adrian, where back in the day, like I would wake up in the morning, have my bowl of cereal, run down, jump on the Xbox 360 or the GameCube or whatever, play from literally sun up till sundown, and I wouldn't stop. Nowadays, even if I had zero responsibility and all the time in the world, being just
I get tired.
Yeah, I get tired and I'm like, I need to go walk around. Like I even get bored sometimes playing games. I'm like, I've played video games long enough. I need to just go for a walk or go take some pictures or whatever.
Take a nap.
I have other hobbies, so it's like I'm gonna go do something else, which is weird because I love video games, but yeah, I get burned out.
Just part of getting old, man.
Whereas a kid, like I could play it for 13 hours straight and be just fine.
That's because you know what? That's because that's all we had to do. You know, you can get in your car and literally go anywhere now and do anything.
Yeah,
so
we're adults, we can do whatever we want.
And that's that's why TV shows and cable and everything else is so different now because the way people consume content. For me, I can't, if the game is really great, like maybe the last time I played like this was Village, when Resident Evil Village came out, I could sit for 4 or 5 hours and play that game. So I could conceivably sit and play 4 or 5 hours playing a game like that. I haven't played like that in a while. There just hasn't really been a game like that that's captivated my attention. Even with like Little Nightmares, when I was playing that a lot, it's playing it for like an hour or 2 hours. And that's like it, man. I gotta get up and move around. I can't sit still for that long. So even with, hey, I can do whatever I want, there's always things to do that
the last time since I was a kid that I had ever done a session that long was when God of War first came out, the 2018 one.
Yeah.
And I played that game because I knew I was coming up on the end, right? We were coming up on the climax of the game. And I played it literally all night long and I finished it at 6 a.m. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, sir, you can't do it. No, I don't care how good the game is. And it was worth it. It was worth doing. But I was like, you are not a young man anymore. You cannot do that again. And I haven't done anything close to that long since.
You had to sleep for like 2 days.
Oh my God. I locked my door. I was like, don't bother me for the next 24 hours. I am drained.
Garrett sometimes has to lock his door after he's been drained too, but it's not for video game playing.
Did it?
Kajoma just came out here and says, bro, you out here anti-Dr. Pepper too? No, I actually Love Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper's fantastic. That's actually
Okay, I thought you were about to go
no.
even further down on the totem pole.
That's honestly like my number one pick would be Dr. Pepper. Number 2 would be Cherry Pepsi. And then number 3, I'm going to throw this out here.
And you're sticking by this.
Number 3, my number 3 pick, and you can't get it anymore, but remember Pepsi Twist with the lemon.
Yeah. Why do you think you can't get it anymore, Garrett?
The best.
Why do you think
it got,
you can't get it anymore, Garrett?
It got discontinued.
Please.
Right, exactly.
In the States.
Exactly.
But then we moved overseas, and the country we were living in, they still had it. They got it from like Australia.
It's the leftovers that we sent over there.
It's from the Cold War, Garrett. It's from the Cold War.
It was heavenly. It was like, okay, we're living in this new country away from home, and I got a little taste of home, a little piece of home right there.
He got some Cold War Russian like Pepsi Twist, and like dude,
oh man,
it tastes like lemon butt. Like, come on, man.
Used with water straight from Chernobyl.
Right?
Oh man, but hey, it tastes fantastic.
I can't believe you.
All right, let's move on to this last question. This comes from Kajunior. You're a boss in Super Mario World. What's your level's theme, and what is your special attack?
I mean, I got to do an ice world. They're the most frustrating to get through. If I'm a boss, I want you to die as much as possible before you even get to me, because then you're already frazzled, and I can get in your head easier. So mine is definitely an ice world. Now, my attack, that's a tough one. Do I want to throw stuff at you? Or do I want to charge? I think throw stuff is pretty fun, because then I can throw it at different trajectories. And, you know, of course, because it's Mario, you have to have a little tail or something like that to know where I'm going to throw it. But maybe, you know, the more you hit me, the faster I throw stuff, and maybe the more random the pattern gets.
A little faster. Yeah, I see. I would like to have, I always love the underwater levels because those are also hard as heck, but I always love the music in them. So I'll like, for me, it'd be more like I'd be jamming out in my boss den, just like, yeah, this is some sick underwater Mario music. And then, so it's more for my enjoyment. But you know, you would enjoy it too on the way there. And then you'd get to me, and my attack would be, I would like it to be, so in Super Mario Odyssey, that one dude has a top hat that like spins around with the spikes on it. It would be something like that. Like I would wear like a cool little top hat with spikes on it. But no, instead of a top hat though, it would be like a pool floaty, like an inner tube, because it's water themed, right? So it's like a water.
Smart.
So it's a cool little inner tube with spikes on it. I know it doesn't make sense, but it's Mario logic. And yeah, so I would like throw it out on the rope, and then it would like spin around, and you'd have to dodge it, jump on my head, take me out.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice. So my level would be, Garrett and I did pest control for years and years. So I went into so many backyards with like old rotten wood decks where you would step on the deck boards and they would just break and you go through them. Maybe that never happened to Garrett because he weighed like 125.
So you'd be like a ghost house.
Yeah. So essentially, basically what the whole level would be is walking on these decks that have like boards that if you step on the wrong board, it breaks and you fall through. And there'd be like bamboo chutes. Like, you know, they have some poop on them that are like kind of up, kind of like Vietnam style. So if you fall through, you're going to end up getting speared with these poo-poo sticks. Okay. And then at the end, it's me.
This
and
is very Mario friendly.
Hey,
I know this is getting.
You never know. And then at the end, it's me. And it's because I'm in Nebraska, I turn into a tornado. And then I just come at you and attack you and like spin you off into the distance and stuff like that. Every time I hit you with my tornado, it ends up jacking you up pretty much. You got to come back and you get hit 3 times, you're dead. You go back to the beginning of the level, back to the poo-poo sticks.
Okay.
That's a pretty interesting Mario game we got.
I've never seen this in Mario before, but there's a first for everything. So
that's a lost level if I ever heard of one.
Mr. Nintendo, if you're listening, we got a pitch for you.
Watch when this happens, you guys they're gonna be sending me checks. You watch.
Okay.
They're like, why did we not think of the poo-poo sticks? It's a great idea.
Poo-poo sticks. Excuse me. All right. Well, that's it. That's what you get, Good Junior. That's what you asked for. Thank you all so much for writing in your questions.
Oh, thank God.
If you want to write more questions, send them in. DM us on social media. Send them in on our Discord channel there. Then you get them read on the question, the mailbag section next week. All right.
We never get out of Pepsi Land. Good grief.
Oh, we're never out of Pepsi Land, baby.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna have. That's gonna be the new thing. I'm gonna have Pepsi every week on the show, just to rub it in. It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy news.
Music to my ears. This first news story comes from VGC, written by Andy Robinson. EA is allegedly pursuing a sale and has talked to Apple, Amazon, and Disney. Electronic Arts is claimed to be actively pursuing a sale or merger in the wake of a recent M&A activity in the games industry, such as Microsoft's $68.7 billion acquisition of Activision. That's according to a new report by news site Puck, which claims that EA has been persistent in pursuing a sale and has recently held talks with Disney, Apple, Amazon, and Comcast NBC Universal. It's claimed that talks with the latter progressed the furthest before eventually falling apart last month with Comcast CEO Brian Roberts allegedly proposing to spin off NBC Universal and merge his company with EA. The general terms of the proposal, which lawyers and bankers from both sides negotiated for several weeks, would have seen the Roberts family take majority control of the combined entity, the report claims. In the configuration most seriously discussed, the company would have been run by Wilson. There's more and more like blah, blah, blah business stuff that we don't care about. But this is kind of bizarre, right? Like EA, one of the biggest players in the games industry, are like, hey, can someone buy us, please? Hey, do you want to merge with us? Like, that just seems like some major red flags, right? Like, they're the big... They're supposed to be the big boys, and then here they are, like, running around, like, willy-nilly, trying to get whoever they can get. Like, someone please adopt us. Like, that's a little concerning to me. I don't know. What do you guys think?
I would have never, ever thought I would see EA getting sold or trying to sell itself or anything like that.
Yeah. If someone offered them money, that's one thing. The red flag is that they're going around like, please, do you want to buy us? Do you want to buy us? What about you? You looked at me funny. I think you want to buy. It's like,
I need to look at those books because something is clearly happening over at EA.
Yeah, there's definitely something going on. If they're actively shopping their stuff around and saying like, hey, is anybody interested in picking up this company? There's more to it than what we're seeing. There's much more underneath the surface. There could be, all kinds of issues, but I would say financially, they're realizing that in the long term, it's not a good money making company. So I think that their best bet is to sell, but shopping around like that isn't a good sign.
Yeah, it was funny. I was discussing with my dad earlier, like kind of about it, and he's like, "Well, what have they made?" I'm like, "Oh, like this and the other thing." But he's like, "No, what have they made recently?" Like, he's like, "I know the things from back in the day, but what have they done?" And I'm like, FIFA,
Star Wars,
Madden, Knockout City, another FIFA, and then like
another Madden.
Yeah, like 5 minutes later, I finally like, oh yeah, they did the Star Wars games, but yeah, it was like, but other than like what 3 Star Wars games in the past 6 years or 7 years, they haven't done anything. So it's like other than Madden and FIFA. So I don't know, like unless they have something coming down the pipeline, like obviously there's the new whatchamacallit coming out soon. But that's BioWare, right?
Mass Effect?
You guys don't.
Mass Effect.
You guys don't actually play, and I know I don't either. But you guys don't actually play sport games like soccer, like FIFA.
I used to like FIFA back in the day, but I haven't played it since like 2011, 2012, or something like that.
Okay, so we're probably the wrong people to ask, and Adrian, I hate to cut you off, but I'm just saying, you're not playing Madden so much. I know we're not playing, any of the FIFA games and stuff like that. But the real simple, honest answer is there is people that play FIFA. There's
Oh,
a huge
there's a lot of
population of
people,
people that play that game, and
Absolutely.
that's why those games keep coming out the way that they do. I remember when a game came out, a FIFA game, not that long ago. I went to a baby shower, and I was the only guy there that spoke English. And the one thing that I had in common with everybody was they're sitting in there playing on the Xbox, and they're playing FIFA games. And so, of course, I go in there and start drinking tequila and talking trash about how great I am at video games. And I wasn't, but I got really drunk and had a great time, and, like really drunk. And I still haven't found those pants, by the way. But my point being, there's a huge amount of people that love those games. So there's people out there that will want to buy EA. EA, like that, definitely can make money. But shopping the company around by themselves like that, that's a scary sign. There's something else going on. There's something underneath all that we're not seeing.
Yeah. And now we didn't talk about it, but there was the big news with that last week or the week before where they lost the title of FIFA. So now it's like FIFA said, hey, we're not re-signing our deal with EA. So now it's from here on out, starting next year, it's just going to be
Anybody.
EA Soccer. Like they're just calling like EA Soccer, right? Or something like that.
Right.
Because it's
but anybody can make FIFA games now.
Right. Yeah. So it's not even an EA exclusive thing, and yeah. So it's kind of crazy. So that they did that's something big that they just recently lost. But I don't know. Yeah. It's weird.
Piggybacking off what you were saying, JJ. So I actually used to be way into football games, but that was before EA bought the Madden license or bought the NFL license, the exclusivity, because I was a huge fan of the NFL 2K games that came out on the Dreamcast. I thought those were like some of the best football games that's ever been made, even still to this day, because it was the perfect marriage of like it was about 70% sim and 30% arcade, so it had just enough fluid movement and an arcade personality to be interesting, and enough sim to where like if you wanted to, you could put bot versus bot and actually watch it as if it were a full football game. And it had those good hits too. So once they stopped making those because EA bought the license, I kind of got bored of it because Madden was really just a straight up sim, and that's not what I'm looking for. I could just watch a game. Yeah. So if anything, I would buy EA as a secret agent of Sega. And I would get rid of that NFL exclusivity, and NFL 2K will be making a comeback here pretty soon. So,
yeah, remember when there used to be competition and like there's the 2K games and the EA Sports games, and
2K was always better than Madden when it was making games. Yeah. Always.
And then all the 2K games went away, and it's just EA making stuff, and they're not good.
Yep.
Yeah. Sad.
No, but it's pretty worrying about EA. I think something more is going on than what they're letting on. I don't know if they're hurting worse than, they're showing the public.
Yeah, or I mean, something that just popped in my head. Maybe it's not that they're hurting, but maybe it's just greedy. Like they saw dollars when they heard about this $68.7 billion acquisition of Activision. Maybe it's
EA is not even worth. No way.
Maybe it's just like they saw dollar signs like, ooh, let's see if we can make some quick cash on this, like, which is stupid. Now, that doesn't make sense.
Is EA still a public? Is it a public company or is it still a private company?
I think they have shares.
I think it's
so.
Public,
yeah, they have investors and all that. EA as of May 20th is worth $36.7 billion. So not even half of the Activision net worth.
Right.
So there's no way they're going to be able to get the kind of pull that an Activision could with, having an Xbox look at them or something like somebody of that caliber.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Either way, it's interesting. Definitely it'll be. I think the craziest thing is some of the people they went to too. Like, hey, Apple, Amazon, Disney. Like
That's what I feel like Apple or Amazon would have been the ones to pull the trigger because they need a killer app right now.
Oh,
So-
well, yeah. Well, Amazon with their streaming service, or I'm surprised they didn't go to Google yet. Like, imagine if they went to Google with Stadia or Amazon with their whatever. It's their
EA Play is
streaming.
already on Stadia though, so what more could they have done?
The access, exclusive access to the studios to make first party stuff for Stadia. Because
Yeah, I guess so.
that's something they always promised for Stadia, and they haven't been able to deliver. And even with Amazon, their streaming service, they've promised exclusive things, and they haven't come out with anything on there as far as I
Well,
know.
they did, but it got pulled.
Yeah, Stadia doesn't have anything that's first party made for them
No,
specifically.
they never have.
I think the last I heard, even all the studios that Google had started, they've shut them down, right?
Shut down.
Yeah, so like
They shut down.
they-
Jade Raymond left. All of that.
Yeah, they started them all up, and then they're like, shoot, it's not going to work. They shut them all down. So they're still hosting Stadia, but they've kind of totally gone back on their promise to make first-party games. It's just a streaming
Google was
thing.
like, "Wait, games cost money?"
Stadia will eventually be drug out in the street and shot. It's just a matter of time and when it's going to
That's
happen.
what Google always does.
Yep. So if I was to make a guess, and it's really all that it is a guess as to which one of those companies works the best of the names that you talked about for buying it, I think that Apple
Yeah.
makes the most sense with their gaming. Like that would work out probably the best for both parties is if they ended up picking up EA.
Especially if they want to push harder with Apple Arcade. I think that they could really make a
Oh,
push for
yeah.
that. And I think that would be a good way for them to, with their new Macs that have all that graphics power. If you
With the
had
M1
like,
chips, yeah.
yeah, with the M1 chips, if you have EA games to showcase that, you know, like you could say EA games run incredible on Apple hardware, and then you show them, you know, you can only get this kind of performance here, which granted, of course you can't, but you know what I mean.
I'm glad you guys brought
there's
that
some-
up because I was just going to talk about those M1 chocolate chips that
Yes, of course.
they have.
Yeah. You know, the chocolate. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, the Chips Ahoy M1s, you know, my favorites.
Yeah.
My favorite
Yeah.
Chips Ahoy.
I mean, I was
But
going
yeah.
to say, it, but you know.
But yeah, I think
want-
Apple would probably have been the most logical pick for me. So it's odd that they passed up on them.
Kojima felt like Disney should have taken it, besides the fact that Disney doesn't like making games, he says.
No, they
But
didn't.
I mean, the only reason that would make sense is since they had a deal previously with EA for making Star Wars games, but other than that, I don't know if that really, I don't know.
Trust me, I put a lot of money into Disney Infinity. Disney does not like making games.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, I just feel like it would go to waste because, yeah, they don't like making games. And then even the Star Wars games we got from EA, like, weren't, other than Star Wars
One out of three.
Yeah, Fallen
I was going to
Jedi
say,
Order.
one was really good.
That was the
Come
only
on.
good
Right.
one. Yeah, that was the only good one. All the rest of them were just like, all right. That was whatever, a fart in the wind. Like,
That game was actually better than it had any right to be.
which
Yeah.
that's something that didn't make it in the show notes, but there's I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. I've seen news articles swirling around though that the sequel could come as early as next spring, 2023. So
Yeah, all the assets are built. So
so I was kind of stoked about that. But yeah, so keep your ears peeled though. We'll see if this merger or sale actually becomes of anything. I kind of doubt it, but you never know. Things change quick in the gaming industry.
man, one day you wake up and Xbox buys Blizzard. So
Yeah, right. This next news story comes from VGC as well, written by Tom Ivan. The Last of Us PS5 remake is reportedly likely. That's an interesting choice of words, but I mean, it's very accurate. Reportedly likely to be released in 2022. It's rumors and speculation at this point, but Jeff Grubb from GamesBeat said, I keep hearing that it's coming out this year. He said on the latest episode of Kinda Funny's Gamecast, The Last of Us remake this holiday. He later added, I'm pretty confident about that too. Bloomberg first reported last April that a remake of 2013's PS3 game, The Last of Us, was in the works for PS5. It claimed the project was originally in development at PlayStation's Visual Arts Service Group before the studio was switched to a support role in the game. The remake's development is now reportedly being led by series creator Naughty Dog, which is said to have taken charge of the project following the completion of Last of Us Part 2, which was released in June 2020. Reliable insider Tom Henderson claimed in January that The Last of Us Remake could be released for PS5 in the second half of 2022. And VDC has also heard from our own sources that the unannounced game is nearing completion. Yeah, there's a little bit more to it there, but basically the idea is like, hey, by the end of this year, we could have a freaking Last of Us remake for a game that's not even 10 years old. JJ, how are you feeling about this?
So you guys know I'm the biggest Last of Us fan. My top 2 favorite games are Last of Us 1 and 2. I think that there's nothing more you can do to Last of Us, the original, to make it any better. The game was practically perfect. I would even say perfect. I think it's the perfect game. For the time frame of when it came out and the story that was told in it, everything about it is excellent. And I think that the only thing you can do is screw it up by trying to go in and change it. So leave it alone. Let it lie. I don't mind there being another prequel or, you know, a different story with different characters in the same world. Cool. Yeah, I mean, why not? Like, there's lots of that kind of stuff. But why are you going to try to take a masterpiece like the Mona Lisa and say, like, I think I could paint it better. We'll update it to look a little better and just clean that smile up. Well, that smile is what makes the Mona Lisa a work of art. That smile is what makes it the thing that catches your eye and you can't stop looking at. That smile is the thing that makes it beautiful. So leave it the way that it is. It's already art. It's already perfect. Mm-hmm. You're not going to make it any better. If anything, by getting in and screwing with it, you're going to make it worse. So no, I'm not a big fan. Will I buy it if it comes out? Yeah, I'm a whore. Of course I will. and I'll play it and I'll tell you guys how much I love it. But as of right now, I say leave it alone. Don't screw with it.
Yeah, it really doesn't make sense because like I mentioned, the original is not even 10 years old. It came out 2013, so it's not even a 10-year-old game, so it's not that old. It also looked incredible because it was right at the turn of the generation, so it's like end of PS3, beginning of PS4. So it's already a gorgeous game, not that old.
And they already redid it once.
And they've already remastered it. They remastered it. Like, why do we need a remake of the thing? Like, I don't know.
So Garrett, you actually played that for the first time in preparation of playing Last of Us 2. You didn't play it.
I played it in 2013 when it came out. That's remember the old story where someone hacked into my PS3 account and bought it for me. Right. I wanted to get it, but wasn't planning on it, and then someone bought it for me after they hacked in my account. I'm like, oh, I guess that made the decision for me.
I guess I got to do it.
Playing it. So yeah, I played it in 2013, and then I replayed it, and yeah, that was one of the things though. I replayed it though about a year and a half, 2 years ago, and was like, oh shoot, like. It'd been a long time. I forgot a lot that happened in the game. Like, I definitely had missed out on a lot of the story, I think, just being a young kid as well, and now being an adult.
And also, you played it now from being a dad, which it really, honestly, it adds a whole different layer to the game, being a father, and, like, putting yourself in that Joel role of, you know, losing a daughter and then having a surrogate daughter that you're carrying through this post-apocalyptic crazy world and trying to keep her safe. You know, so I mean, it does change your perspective when you're a dad and you're playing that game.
Totally. Yeah, 100%. But yeah, so I think we're all kind of in agreement. Like, why is this happening? Now, when do we think we're going to hear about this? Because there hasn't been a peep from Sony. Is this something we get like during... They haven't announced a summer showcasing.
Summer Games Fest.
But do you think it'll be at Summer Game Fest, or do you think they're going to do their own little like state of play or something like that? Maybe
I was going to talk trash and say, we'll probably hear about it at E3, boys.
Ha ha ha.
Oops.
Not this
year.
Soon?
Too soon? Okay.
The body's not even cold yet, JJ.
I know. I'm sorry.
Stop! It's already dead.
Yeah, that's if it's coming out this fall, I feel like we have to hear about that. If we don't, then it's not coming out this year. There's no way. I doubt they shadow drop something like that. Something as big as The Last of Us. That in my head though, like
They
that just
could,
seems-
but it would still sell though.
that just seems like a marketing nightmare though. Like why remake it? Because it's such a new game. Like again, if it was like a 20 or 30-year-old game, I feel like they could easily come out and be like The Last of Us, but or like even God of War. When they did God of War 1, 2, and 3, and then the new one was just God of War again. It had been long enough since the other one to where that worked, because the other one was a PS2 game. Now, like this, Last of Us is recent enough. I feel like it's gonna be so hard to like get the SEO on that bad boy, you know, like good to market that thing. That's my mind now. Like that's my job. I work in marketing, so in my head I'm like, how are they gonna like figure that one out? Like, are they gonna call it Last of Us Remake? Like that just doesn't have the same ring to it. Like it's just
Last of Us PS5.
I guess I don't know.
So
That's the best way to separate it.
They already cleaned up and remastered Last of Us, and
Once, yeah.
with this one, do we think that it's going to be a complete reboot where they are remaking the entire game and bringing in new voice actors or the same actors to play those roles?
I mean, the fact that they're using the verbiage remake, that's what it makes me think. If they were saying just remaster, then I'd be like, oh, it's just what we got before, just for PS5. But they keep using the word remake. And the fact that they had to bring in a whole nother studio and they've been working on it for years, a remaster shouldn't take that long. Like the fact that they've been working on this for at least 2 years now, if not longer, 3 years. I think it's
Here's a crazy idea.
Yeah.
What if it's a remake of the game, but it's trying to base it in the world of the upcoming show?
Oh.
There is a real possibility of that actually happening.
That
Now,
could
if
be
they
it.
want to do that, I'd be interested in that because it'd be a totally different telling. Well, not totally different because they're still the same characters, but it'd be a vastly different telling of the story than the one that we already have. And if it sucks, we still have the original. But I would love to see what they would deem so important and so worthy of remaking the game. So that's the only way I can see it.
Yeah. Do we know when is there any release date yet on that show, the HBO show, or
No, not even close.
Okay,
No,
because
COVID actually messed it up. It was supposed to.
I know there's been
It was supposed to air already.
Okay, I know there's been a lot of filming because I've been seeing on like leaks, people like leaking videos online on Reddit and stuff of like them filming scenes. I was watching a couple of them, like, oh, that's cool. Like someone up on a building looking down the street while they're filming down below. So like they're still filming it, which makes me think it's probably definitely not coming out this year. But yeah, that could be it. In which case, like, again, I don't know what they title it then, like to connect it to the TV series, like The Last of Us HBO. Like they put the HBO logo on the cover or something. Like, I don't know, but
Could be.
We'll see. I don't know. That'd be interesting. I would be down with that. Like if they really do differentiate it, like, hey, yeah, this is connected to the new TV series. Like that kind of makes sense. Like a little extra, not addendum, but what do you call it? Like a supplemental material for the show, kind of get you ready for the show or something like that. That would be cool. But
I could, like I said a little while ago, I think the only way that it could really work for me, in my mindset, is the whole thing beginning again and it being a different story, different characters in the same world. Similar to what Walking Dead is doing right now with the multiple spin-offs that are from different angles and, you know, different characters, different parts of the world and things like that. So, I mean, that might be something fun. It's like, okay, the same, you know, virus happening to a different group of people somewhere else.
yeah, like a Fear the Walking Dead type thing, but
Sure.
yeah, somewhere else. Yeah, again, yeah, if they do something like that, it'd be sick. But the word remake is just what's scary. But yeah, we'll have to wait
Quick
and see.
suggestion.
Yes.
Maybe the Omaha Zoo. I'm just saying, like, we were already. Is that. Guys, I'm just thinking out loud here. Just we're table reading some.
Right.
Every creative endeavor has to have a pitch.
Omaha Zoo in it.
All of them.
Yes,
Everyone.
an Omaha Zoo.
Everyone needs an Omaha Zoo in their life.
Hell yeah, they do.
All right, this last news story is just a little quick one, really just for me. But you guys know I can't go an episode without talking about Death Stranding or Hideo Kojima.
Did you bring a change of pants? Because
So-
I feel like you're gonna need it.
This last story comes from Eurogamer, well, it's kind of two stories. One written by Ed Nightingale, one written by Vicky Blake. Here's the little 1-2 punch. Norman Reedus seemingly confirms Death Stranding sequel in development. In an interview with Leo, Reedus, the actor behind lead role Sam Porter Bridges, discussed Death Stranding and said simply, we just started the second one. So in the interview, Death Stranding kind of came up and working with in the games industry, and he just kind of blurted that short little thing out, and then very quickly kind of moved on to, well, he describing how he got his original role, like how, you know, Guillermo del Toro is a good friend of his. He told him, hey, Guillermo del Toro is a good friend of Hideo Kojima. So he's like, hey, my buddy Kojima's going to call you. Just say yes to whatever he says, that whole story. But yeah, it's very interesting. He kind of quick blurted out there, hey, we're starting to work on the second one. Oh, by the way, this is how I got the role for the first one. Well, I think the best part of this is Kojima publicly responding to Norman Reedus' claims that Death Stranding 2 is in development. Kojima, being a good sport, came out and posted 3 pictures. One of him holding, Kojima holding Negan's bat from The Walking Dead, so the baseball bat with a barbed wire wrapped around it. A second photo with Kojima holding it above his head, and Norman Reedus is on his knees in front of him like he's about to bash Norman Reedus' head in. And then the second one of them like kind of hugging and pointing at each other like they're friends or whatever. And in the caption just says, "Go to your private room, my friends," you know, in reference to the private room in Death Stranding. Kind of wanting to shut him down a little bit, but all in good fun. Like obviously it's like, oh shoot, okay, well, I just thought that was fantastic. That's all. Like, if anything, Hideo Kojima's response kind of added more what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it just made it a little more like, okay, there's probably
validity.
Validity to Reedus' statement. Like, he wasn't just BSing, or, you know, maybe he was referring to the first one, just worded it wrong. Like, oh, okay, something's happening. And now, JJ, you haven't really played the first one. Adrian, you have. No. We kind of talked a little bit about it beforehand, but I was just like, where do they go? Like, I feel like a lot happened in the first one, and I'm sure there's ways they could.
It's a lot of walking.
They could.
Where would they walk next?
Yeah, I'm sure they could spin it off, but a lot of the threads, I'm not going to argue whether they were tied up well, but a lot of them were tied up kind of at the end. Yeah,
they were. And then I asked you a simple question. I said, Garrett, do you think the second one is going to involve humans? And you said, yeah. And then I said, well, then there's potential for a story.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter how much you get, you can put a human in absolute paradise and they will find some way to want to either dominate it or sell it or kill it. So
yeah,
we got a game.
Yeah. It's just like the whole idea, the name Death Stranding, like, refers to the extinction event that was happening. It's like, and even in the story they talk about how those only happen every so many thousands of years or whatever. And it's like, well, okay, like, if Norman Reedus is still alive, like, is this going to take place thousands of years in the future? And he's like a cyborg at this point. Like, yeah. Is he cyborg ninja? Is he going to turn into like freaking
Death
Raiden?
Stranding Rising?
Yeah, that's what we need. This is actually they're going to tie it into the Metal Gear Solid series. And it's going to be called, it's Death Stranding and then semicolon Metal Gear Rising Revengeance 2. It's the sequel. It's a sequel. A sequel.
So
to
it's
the Metal
him
Gear
and
Rising
Raiden
game.
teaming up. They're both cyborgs now
to fight Metal Gears that are trying to bring on the extinction event.
There we go. See? And you were worried about how are they going to make another game. There you go.
Kojima, hire me. So
thank God you have the protective pants on right now, Garrett, because we would have a mess. Like a mess. Get a bucket and a mop.
Oh, man. I saw, dude, the other day on Instagram, Twitter, everywhere, they're posting it that they're hiring right now. And I'm like, I don't have any skills.
You won't do it.
I don't have any skills that they require. I think but I want to apply. So
you could be on the. What do you mean? You could be on the social media team. You know
they need cheerleaders. They need cheerleaders.
After Effects and whatnot.
The problem is I think they require you to be fluent in Japanese. I'm like, I have like 2 weeks to learn Japanese.
The Rosetta Stone, dude. I saw that on you could get that stuff online.
Patreon money, buy me Rosetta Stone.
Yeah, use the Patreon money. Go get it.
Does Duolingo have Japanese on there? I have to check that out. It's free. I can just do Duolingo on my phone.
I believe it does.
As far as Norman Reedus leaking that, it's pretty awesome and hilarious at the same time because he's kind of an idiot. This is not the first time that he's done this. He did this when they were doing the first one, and like somebody asked him about it. They're like, "Hey, so tell us about the game." And I don't know if you guys remember, but his description of the game was like a fever dream. He's like, well,
To be
So-
fair,
I know, but
the game's
but, like-
pretty wild too. But
Oh, he sounded just ridiculous trying to come up with the reasoning behind it. But yeah, and it could be a planned spot too. That it was like he accidentally leaked it, or let's say Kojima, not to be confused with Kojima or Kojima's mom, by the way. Still looking forward to those photos. That he's just trolling all of you people, Garrett. All of you people that are into this stuff. That he's like, Norman said something that's fake and not real, and then Kojima's trying to screw with the Garretts of the world by saying like, "Oh, why I oughta," when in reality he hasn't.
he hasn't. Oh, we'll just have to wait and see. Trust me, if anything happens, you will all know here first.
We know.
We'll know before they know.
Oh man! Alrighty, let's get on to. Next, it's now time to talk about a Patreon. Alrighty, this is the part of the show where I tell you to go to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there, starting at just $1 a month. You can get episodes early and ad-free. Our $5 tier, you can get their show notes, know what we're going to talk about, leave your own question, comments, concerns, talk about the new stories on there. $10 a month, you can be an awesome Super Gamer sponsor. $15 a month, hey, you could be our Patreon producer. You can pitch us a segment for the show. Be like, hey, you know what? I want you guys to try this. You know what? We'll give it the old college try. We'll give it a shot. Yeah, look at JJ. Just I don't know what he's doing over there, but that's are you going to be a Patreon producer for our own show? Okay, no, this is taking it a very different direction. Very different direction.
What? Okay.
Apparently, he's paying himself to give himself a lap
No,
dance.
I'm just saying, like, look, support us on Patreon so we can have more of this sweet cash so that we could buy Garrett pants that he can wear that have protective linings. So when he wets himself talking about Kojima games, it's a situation where it just doesn't get on the floor. You know what I mean? So help us.
That would
support
be...
us, like he said. Even a buck a month. It's not much to you, but those bucks add up, and then you have, $4, $5, $6, $10.
Hey guys, we're getting so close. We always get so close to our goal where we can start Super Later Boys, our premiere
Within an eyelash
talk
length.
show. We get so close, and then we all of a sudden we'll lose 1 or 2 people. We gotta stop the trend. We need you guys all to just suck it up and support us, Just do it. You want to. I know. I can see it in your eyes right now. I'm looking right at you, you listener.
You got some cash. You look like you got some cash to burn.
I see that dollar hanging out of your wallet, okay? It's gonna blow away in the wind if you're not careful, so you might as well just give it to us. So support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. Get some sweet perks and help us fund our next show. Also, support us on Twitch. If you're watching here live, we have Prime Gaming. You have Prime Gaming, and you can give us a free subscription.
Don't look at me. Don't.
I'm trying to keep eye contact with the camera, but I had to check to make sure I wasn't.
Don't look.
I'm
I'm letting you drown.
You've
done it too many times.
He was looking to see if you were going to shake your head. No,
I was waiting.
No.
I was waiting for you to.
I know you were.
With wallop me, give me a club.
I was like, I'm gonna play it so cool. Ain't no way. He's not getting any feedback.
Because last week, I was saying it correctly. I was mid sentence. You're like, no, that's wrong.
I was ready.
I know you were so ready for me to make a mistake. So yeah, please throw your free subscription. It doesn't cost you anything. Support us over there, and that would be very much appreciated. Alrighty, it is now time to get back to the show. All right, we're here, we're back, and it's time for What You Playing. So JJ, what you playing?
I've been playing Death's Door.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Death Stranding. I thought you were going to say Death Stranding there for a second. I got all excited. I got way too excited there.
I saw
about to turn
you
a
scared
flip
me
over
a
there.
little bit. Yeah, you need to be careful, buddy.
I'm going
Whoa! He didn't have pants on. I don't know if you guys
Take
saw
it
that
easy.
right now, but Garrett.
These are my gym
Yeah.
shorts. I was out playing some b-ball, you know.
Don't call it b-ball. Don't ever do
Okay.
that again. That doesn't sound. It sounds really bad when you
Okay,
call
I
it
won't.
that.
I won't. I'll stop. I'm sorry.
No, so yeah, I've been playing Death's Door. It's a great game.
It's excellent.
It's so good. I didn't know anything about this game, but I saw some pretty killer reviews about it. So I decided to give it a chance. It's on Game Pass, which is great because I don't have to pay anything extra for it. And I played
JJ, didn't you hear? Game Pass sucks.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
I hear PS Plus is going to destroy
Apparently,
that.
yeah.
According
it
to
sucks.
Kotaku, Game Passes burn out and no one likes it anymore. So
Yeah.
Oh wow! Well, so I am not in agreement because I've been finding a lot of gold on that Game Pass. So yeah, Death's Door is fantastic. It's an awesome game, a lot of fun, colorful, weird, goofy characters, but definitely worth the playthrough. Definitely worth. I found myself being able to go and play half hour to an hour at a time, get a lot out of it, and then it's like I can move on. But I find myself still thinking about the game. I mean, so that to me is kind of the telltale of a really good game when you can't stop thinking about it, or you find yourself going, man, I kind of want to play that game right now. So that game is giving me those feelings again, you know, where I'm like, man, I want to get home and play that game for a little bit. In fact, I might get in there and play a little bit tonight. I'm at a boss right now that's giving me a hard time, and I'm struggling. I'm struggling. So, but we'll get through it. We'll get through it. We'll do it together.
Not mad at you.
So if you guys
It's
haven't
an
played
excellent
it,
game.
play Death's Door. It's fun.
dang. First of all, Kajunior in the chat says workout finished. Took a long time to do all those crunches.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We
Keep
did them
coming.
together.
And then Super Gamer Boy's mom. This can't be real. This can't be real. It says
Is that your mom?
it says,
No
Garrett,
way, dude.
Garrett, why are you
Dude.
taking your clothes off? Because I should took my hoodie off. So someone named Super Gamer Boy's mom is in the chat, wondering why I'm stripping here on the show.
I love it. Hey, wait, has she been on this whole show, or is all the other stuff that Adrian was saying earlier?
I was saying, no.
What?
We're both
Dude.
getting under this bus. Don't you do that.
You're like, we're going in hand, brother.
Oh no. Adrian, what have you been playing?
So, you know, of course, it's a new week, a new Monday. So a new pair of Playdate games dropped.
Yes.
And the new one, the highlight for this week, they're both good. But the highlight for this week is a new game called Zipper. So it's it's like a grid-based tactics game, right? But the units are samurai and ronin. It takes place in like feudal Japan. So you need to set up your samurai to basically be the most effective within their range of squares, right? So you set him one place and he can move so much, and then there'll be like pikemen that you have to figure out how to get around and attack, or you know, different abilities that you can use. It's super cool. Just I wish I could show you. Maybe I'll stream it. It's the only thing about it is it's tough as nails, dude.
Oh, man.
I've been getting my butt handed to me, but I keep coming back for more. It's awesome.
We just got a response from Super Gamer Boy's mom. Says, yes, JJ, I'm always watching.
Why I start getting red? I'm just kidding. I don't get nervous about nothing.
But Adrian, I'm still every week. I'm so jealous that you get to play the play date. Like I wish I could get mine.
I can't wait to hear what you think when you get yours. I really
games
can't.
are just so incredible. And then I feel like in every week too, I see all like the other like indie games that are being developed on the side that aren't part of it. I'm just like, man, there's like such cool things.
It's gonna be
made
so
for it.
much for you when you get it.
It's gonna be amazing.
It's gonna be overwhelming.
Yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait.
You might have to even wash the pants, Garrett.
That's true.
You might have to hose them out.
We'll see. I have not been playing anything other than Super Mario World. That's the only thing I played.
That's all you need to play.
And
One
I
of the
heard
best
a
games of
vicious
all
rumor
time.
that you beat it. Is that true?
yes.
Whoa! For the first time in your
For the
life,
first
congratulations!
time ever. Now I did
Man.
not. I did not 100% it
Right?
like Patrick, like old Patrick over there did 100% of all the secret stuff. But I got to the end.
No, but you did
saw
get
the
to the
credits.
end screen.
I beat Bowser. I saw the end. I got all the cool little stuff. So this is gonna blow all your guys' minds here. So in Super Mario Odyssey, no, what game is it? No, Mario Kart. That's where I first saw it. In Mario Kart, they have, you know, Iggy and blah blah blah, like all the, I don't even know their names. All the
Lemmy, Wendy, etc.
Yeah, I never knew where those came from. All my life, I was like, what the heck? Like, what is this? Like, who are they? Like, this is so random in the Mario Kart. Not my whole life, obviously. Mario Kart.
Right.
Eight's been around for so long. For a long time, though, I was just like, what the heck is this? And I've played through Super Mario World quite a few times, but like I said, I've never beat it. I'd get through like the first 2 worlds and then get stuck because I'm a bad gamer. I finally beat it, and after playing through it, I'm like, oh, these guys have been here since the beginning. Like, these are
like, wait a minute.
These are like Bowser's kids or whatever from like the very beginning. Like, they've always been around, or like what, nephews, and I don't know the relationship, but they're in those games as like the mini bosses. I'm like, how did I never know that? How did I never notice that before? I just made that connection like this last week. Like, oh, these guys have been here forever. Like,
yeah,
since the
and they've been in all the
basically.
Mario Brothers games, like the new Super Mario Brothers. They were in that too, so they've been around.
Yeah,
you just haven't been looking for them. That's all.
I'm just an idiot. That's all. I never made the connection. So there you go. If you hadn't made that connection
made.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
No, man, that's all you need to play. It's one of the best games ever made, in my opinion. But
it was a lot of fun.
I would like to see you move to the other 2 of the what is considered the Super Nintendo Holy Trinity. I don't know if you've done A Link to the Past before.
Never
but
done.
That would definitely be.
I don't think I've ever even fired up Link to the Past.
There you go.
And then Super Metroid is the other one. Yeah, you and Zetch were talking about. I fired it up and enjoyed what little I played, but it's a very hard game. That one I might need like a guide or something to like, oh, go here first and go like, I don't know, like it was very overwhelming the first time I jumped into it. It was like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know where I'm going because they don't give you anything. They just like, okay, there you go. I'm like, what?
If somebody owned a Super Nintendo, like those would be the 3 games that I would tell you. If you don't purchase anything else for that system, you got to get those 3 games. That makes the purchase of the console worth it. That's how good they are.
And Donkey Kong Country. That's probably the best one on there.
And Donkey Kong Country, but
I think that's like the best. That's number 1 for
Holy Quadrilogy doesn't really roll off the tongue.
But yeah, so Super Mario World, fun game. We're talking about it tomorrow night, and that book club episode's coming out Friday. So remember, support us on Patreon if you want to hear more of our thoughts about what we really thought about it. If you want to hear freaking Patrick talk about all 96 levels, apparently insane.
I'm ready for all of it. I can't wait for tomorrow.
It's gonna be fun. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening to the episode this week. We appreciate each and every one of you. It's been a blast. Even though JJ and Adrian just, always making fun of me and make me feel awkward. I don't like it.
We have permission, though.
That's true. We do.
That's the thing. I can't fault you for it because you have permission now. But if you want to be awesome and continue to support our shenanigans over here, go to patreon.com/supergamerboys. Support us over there. We just mentioned like a second ago, get the book clubs early. You get this show early and ad-free. You get many other perks. So check it out, patreon.com/supergamerboys. You can also support us by buying some sweet merch. We got t-shirts, we got mugs, we got stickers, whatever you want to do. I think there's even like phone cases. I don't know. We've been talking about a while about revamping the merch, but yeah, there's some masks on there. Go over to sgbstore.com, buy some merch.
Blankies.
Actually, I just got an email today that there's a code. They sent me a code like, here, give this to your followers to get 20% off. So I'm planning on doing a Facebook post about this. But if you want 20%
Facebook, Twitter,
off,
all of it.
Oh, yeah. I don't know why I said Facebook. I was thinking Twitter and Instagram because no one follows us on Facebook. If you want 20% off, use FANSALE20 as a code on our store, and you'll get 20% off the price there. So check that out. Get some sweet merch. Review us where you can. Give us a thumbs up here on YouTube if you're watching. Subscribe to our channel so you know when episodes go live. Again, like I said, reviews, please, please, please. Apple Podcasts, that means a lot to us. Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on the show. Remember, you can find them on Apple Music and Spotify. Links to Spotify down below. You can find us during the week at supergamerboys.com, Twitter and Instagram at supergamerboys. I am on Twitter and Instagram at gmorlang. Adrian, where can they find you at?
You can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy.
And JJ, where can they find you at?
And you can find me at Twitter and Instagram at JJ Purdom. And also you can find me each and every week at the Super Gamer Boys produced Suplex City Wrestling Podcast. It's put out each and every Friday.
Yeah.
This week, we have a great show. The main event of the show this week, we are talking about what 6 wrestlers we would choose to be the tent poles of our own company. We're given an endless amount of money and we can build a new company. So we take 6 current wrestlers out in the market and build a new company with these 6 wrestlers. And we talk about that on this week's show. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. We look forward to seeing you there. You can also find me each and every week as I write articles for hotmoms.com. So please log on.
Do not go to that website. No one go to that website.
Boy, I bet you got a special feature this week.
I do. And indubitably I do.
That I don't.
He's got nothing.
Are you stunned?
Go ahead. Take,
so are we.
end the show. Finish her up here.
And for that reason and that reason alone, we're going to go ahead and cut it off for the night. Thank you so much for joining us here on the show. We appreciate each and every one of you for watching, for listening, and for getting involved on Discord and everything else. So for Adrian Homeboy Holmes, for Garrett Morlang, for Garrett's mom, Jenny, and for myself, JJ, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
So you guys seriously never read any of my articles on there? Like, I mean, I feel like I put a lot of effort into that, dude. And it's not like art or anything, but the written word can be beautiful. I just feel like you guys should probably support things that I do.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. I don't just read it for the article.